maybe that might help, but it's just, I think, the entry point when it comes on. But I've usually just go around. Wow, there it goes, it gave up. So I'm gonna go around and fix that. Ouch. Welcome to the world of DIY, folks. So this is the second video in a two-part series on how to set up an irrigation system for a raised garden bed to grow vegetables. Now, if you haven't seen the first video, you'll want to watch that, and that's where we show how to set up the main lines. In this video, we're going to discuss talking about installing the spaghetti lines and some tips and tricks from someone who's learned the hard way. So sit back, relax, and get your popcorn ready as we go to part 2 in this two-part series. So the next step is attach the spaghetti line. So I just wanted to quickly show what we're about to do here. So right here we have, this is a little, I guess it's a barb coupling. And this is what you will attach the actual spaghetti line. I've already gone ahead and set this up. So I cut this spaghetti line, and then using my heat gun, I attached it to this sprinkler. And this basically does like a 360-degree sprinkle, and you can adjust it to adjust how much of the sprinkler it is, and I'll show you once it's all set up. So essentially what we have to do is create a hole in the 3/4 inch tubing, and to do that, what I've already set up is a drill, and I made sure that it's a little bit smaller than what this coupling is. And what we're going to do is use the heat gun and get it nice and soft, and then push it in to get a nice tight seal. And that's super important, is to get that tight seal. And here's the trick of how I figured it out, is you use a needle nose pliers. Let me see if I can do this. Basically, you get needle nose pliers, you make the hole, you then heat it up with the heat gun, make the hole first with the drill, heat it up, and then push this in, and it will, you'll hear like a little click. And it's good to go this way because you could use your other hand to kind of push it in. Some people might think it makes sense to go like this, but it starts to stagger. So I find that this way is the best way. And I'm going to show you how I do it as I set up the first one over here. So I'll show you what basically how I do it. And then basically I just got to continue all the way across. I estimate probably maybe about 20, 21, maybe 22 of them. So I have a whole box that I already pre-made, got the lines ready, and I'll just take each line, figure out where I need to adjust it, and then drill the hole and just continue my way across. So let's go ahead and start with this first one. Then, gotta do that as quick as possible, and then boom, you kind of hear this snap, and I'll push it in like this to make sure it's in. On it, I'd say right around here, and if I put it here, that means I can go all the way across here and around here. So I think it's maybe, now let's do the first hole kind of right in the middle between these two. So I'm going to put it right there. Oh yeah, see, that's the click you want to hear. So now we're going to attach this piece. And there we go. So now I'll position this here so we can see it good. And now we're going to turn the system on, because we do have a way for the water to get out. Let's see how it works. Okay, we've reached the moment of truth. What I'm going to do is turn this on for the first time. The water is going to go all the way through this system. So basically down here, and then at the middle point, equally distribute itself right to the end. And because we put those spaghetti lines on each end, it should come out. And also we can check for any kind of leaks where at the T, and also over here and at the end. So this is the first time I'm doing this, so you can hear, you're gonna hear the water make its movement. Here we go. So far so good. Let's go look over here at the T. Might see some leaks, but I can tighten everything up later. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Let's go See now, the water is making its all the way around. It's curving over here, coming across, and we have the one. And look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now, see, it's kind of going overshooting. So what you can do with this one is you just adjust it. And the fact that I have so much room now, I can play around. Like, there's a lot of stuff in the way right now, but I can figure out where I want to position this. And what I typically do is, because I like to transplant plants, is when I have this already set up, I just watch where the water ends up, and that's where I drop the plants. And that's probably the most efficient way. So you basically have this in the center, and then you have plants around it. But I planted all these earlier. I knew it was going to rain a lot, and it sure did, because look how much growth I have. So these are all going to eventually come out soon, and then I'll put the next generation in with this whole watering system set up. So, look at that. So you get some kind of leakage over here, and I've had this problem, but it doesn't seem to bother this system, so I'm not too concerned about that. It's tough, man. It's getting these holes right. For some reason, it's a little bit tough. I could try a smaller bit. Maybe that might help, but it's just, I think, the entry point when it comes on. But I've usually just go around. Wow. There it goes. It gave up. So I'm going to go around and fix that. Ouch. Welcome to the world of DIY, folks. So the reason why the water burst is this spaghetti line was not all the way fully on when I put it on. And I was looking at it and I was like, wow, it looks like it's moving back. And then all of a sudden it burst. So I fixed it. I heated it up really good and put it on. It looks solid now. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on one more time. Make sure everything looks good. I probably should tighten everything, but I think what I'll do is I'll just run the rest of the spaghetti lines because it's in the sun. I want to get this over with. Probably start over there in the shade, work my way across, and then turn it on, see how it all does, and then tune it and tweak it and make sure the leaks are done at the very end. So I saw some water coming out from maybe over here, maybe over here, we'll see. It looks like somewhere over here, but you know, I ain't a plumber. I try my best, but the fact that this is outdoors, like I said, it doesn't matter because this only turns on for like a minute or two a day. So I'm gonna turn this on one more time. Let's go ahead and check this side over here. We didn't look at it. And beauty. Look at that. So versatile, you know. Look how much line I have. I can basically take it, move it around, adjust it, but it's good with it. Look at this sunflower. This guy needs some help standing up. It's getting heavy. Should probably put a stake here. And look, it's shooting water, shooting right onto it. This is gonna be perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue this around. These things are gonna get beaten up, but it doesn't matter. I want to get this line. I'll probably put like one every kind of foot, so maybe one somewhere around here, and just try to get this much area wet. Maximize these raised garden beds. So I'm gonna go ahead. This is a lot of work. It's repetitive, so I'll show you what the final result is once I'm finished. And here is the final result. Everything's been set up. There are now these emitters about every 2 feet apart across this entire bed system, raised garden bed. And let's turn it on and see how it works. So just to recap, it goes from here, this main line, goes all the way to the center over here, and then it splits left and right. Now this side actually has more emitters because of this corner. And check it out. And there you go. Now you can see, if you don't like what it's producing, you can adjust it. This is about how much water is coming out. But you can see that I have very kind of low pressure in some of them, whereas others are doing better. So you just basically would have to go around and keep adjusting these to get it all right. And of course, the more you have, like I do, the less pressure you're gonna have. So you kind of have to keep playing around with these until it gets it perfect. And I think that's what I'll do once all these vegetables have been harvested. Right now it's kind of hard. And then in the future, what I'm going to do is I'm going to transplant based upon where the water lands. And that'll be the most efficient way. And then all of this, of course, is going to be on a timer, a 4-zone timer. And then basically from there, you just don't even have to, you don't have to worry about watering the system for the entire season. You just set it up once, and at the end of the season, say around October, turn everything off, blow the lines, get the water out of the lines. And it's just, this system for me is probably the most ideal because of the flexibility it gives you. You have the spaghetti line, you want to move it over here, you can do that. You can adjust the amount of pressure. I can actually close these if I want to get more pressure in the one beside it. So a super modular irrigation system. You know, out of all the different ways I thought about this, I really do think this is one of the best ways, especially if you're trying to grow your own food. So I'm going to have this running all summer long and just keep planting stuff in here and just become literally like a micro farm. That's the plan over here. And then what I like about it is because it's only about 2 feet away from the fence line, it doesn't really take up much space. But clearly you can see how much food can be grown in these raised beds. And now that there's a watering system, this is like, you get the sun. It's the perfect little setup for growing your own food. So if you do like this video, please give me a comment, like this video, subscribe to the channel and all that. And we'll just keep an update on this garden throughout the season.